Welcome back to another action figure review. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at Hiya Toys Exquisite Mini Predator 2 Shaman Predator. This is the package that it comes in. The front of the box has a big window box. You can see the character and his accessories. The bottom left here has a picture of the character. Here from the middle to the bottom right, we do have the Exquisite Mini Predator Shaman name. We have warning for any choking hazards for any children under 3 years of age. These are recommended for ages 15 and up, more for the adult collector. And we have the Hiya Toys logo there on the bottom right. The top of the package just says Exquisite Mini Predator 2 Shaman. And the bottom of the package says the same as the top. And these sides of the box are the same. The back of packaging shows Exquisite Mini Predator 2 Shaman. Exquisite Mini is a new standard setting series for 1/18 scale 1/18 scale featuring super articulation as figures on our Hiya Toys. There's the social media contacts, company information, 20th Century Fox there. Here is the UPC if that helps you at all, and we have some product images. The Shaman Predator is actually pictured on the bottom with a lot of different skeleton and bone pieces. Usually don't get all that in this package. You do get one skeleton piece, which is probably the, besides the the skull and spine human, would probably be the second best skull to get, which is going to be an alien xenomorph head skull. It's pretty cool. We'll take a look at that. So let's take a look at the figure outside the box. Inside the box there is a backdrop. You always look behind your backdrop. You might find some product information or a handout with your other offerings from Hiya Toys. The figure and his accessories are actually just inside a clamshell, as you can see here. And all you do is separate the two. There's no tape on the outer side. Every now and then you will find tape on the actual smaller weapons, or like maybe on the hands here, or maybe here. And every now and then you find it down on the brackets. But let's take a look at that figure. Here's the Shaman Predator. Tell you what, after looking at the product shots for this figure, I like it. Wasn't too hyped about until I actually had it in hand. This Predator is pretty unique. You don't get a whole lot of loadout for your character here, but he is looking pretty awesome. Now in person, he has this black loincloth, waist skirt, what do you want to call it, and some of these wraps on his arms, and around his neck he has a piece of torn material here, all through here, and that is actually coming across as like an obsidian black, and it's kind of shiny. It is really killer looking with this design of this Predator. This Predator's head sculpt actually has longer dreads than most characters that we've seen in the past. Here some comes down to the front. I mean, down to here. Let's take a look at the Lost Predator and I'll show you what I mean. Those long dreads are really awesome looking. This character basically has a white skin base with the black wash throughout for his skin coloring. And he does have some pretty cool gunmetal shoulder pads. This one's a larger one. It's like almost like one built on top of another one. And a smaller one here on the left arm. Or actually be his right, my left. Face sculpt is done really nice. His really light, almost like white, and it has some yellowish to his head. He does have his very small black details on this top of his cranium there, or top of his skull. Eyes are painted really nice. inside of the mouth is actually painted pink or peach. Then it has white teeth, and he has his white mandibles, claws on the end. And that black hair, that black dreads are awesome. Very long. He does have that fish net looking throughout his body. He has on his legs, his chest, and on his arms. On this arm, at least. This one doesn't seem to have it. Very cool. Some knee pads, some shin guards. There's some touches, some white thread there hanging. Very cool looking. Now for his dreads, he doesn't have like those beads throughout the hair. He does have one here in the center. Just like bound three or four of those braids together. But other than that, there's none of those silver or red beads that we find on the dreads, like on the other predators like this. It's kind of cool. So on the back, he kind of has almost like a snake or S pattern there on his legs. Pretty cool. He does have two pectorals on the bottom of his feet for a stand. For articulation, the head does turn side to side somewhat. Because of his dreads, it doesn't move a whole lot. Okay, his shoulders are on a ball joint. They will rotate 360 all the way around if you want. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to do a very careful demonstration of the articulation because I don't want to break my joints. These are very fragile. Part of my QA inspections, I didn't find a whole lot of issues at all for this figure, if any. Just had to heat the joints up and get them loosened up. It wasn't that bad. It's probably the best one I've had so far. But anyway, both arms are on a ball joint. He has articulation here. You can spin his bicep here. And when you're trying to lift his arm up, I wouldn't recommend you pulling on this part. You might snap that joint. You try to get that ball here. And his arm will lift up this way. But it's not very much because it's going to hit shoulder pad there. It does have bendable elbows. Not quite 90 degrees. He has chest articulation here that will rotate 360 if you desire. Here he can pull his legs up in a sitting position, but it's not going to be that much because of the actual cloth. So you just have the eye swivel. You can swivel his eyes if you like. There's a little ball up underneath his. Right there, you can actually turn that into also. It's going to be very hard to turn it with, his waist skirt, whatever you want to call it on. He does have bendable knees, double jointed. Let's see here. They have like a soft ratcheting feel to them. Highly recommend you heat these and be very careful with them. Both legs give you the same range. Something worth noting on this figure was I got two different color joints right out of the package. This was not painted. It's like a clearer joint. Don't know why that is. I wish that it gave us some of those joints extra. Only other articulation he has is his feet will rotate 360 and they do pivot down a tad bit. There's a small joint there. But it's, like I said, I'm being very relaxed with the articulation. So I do not want to break these figures. He is very cool. For some comparisons with other Predators, here's with the Lost Predator. Okay, here he is with the Scout Predator. And we'll take a look at him with the Elder Predator. Elder Predator. Looks really good together. Here he is with the Falconer from the Predators movie. And here he is with one of the Predator Hounds. And if you're wondering how he scales with a G.I. Joe or another 118 scale figure, this is how he scales. They're actually taller because they're supposed to be. Very cool. Alright, let's take a look at his accessories. Let's put him over here for now. Okay, so he comes with, he has that mud stand that you connect with other stands. Let's see here. He does have 2 of these brackets for his stand. They're either going to be the I or H brackets, whatever you want to call them. I think there's no right or wrong. You just simply go like this, and you connect the stands together. Very easy. Now, one of the cool accessories is going to be this alien skull, the xenomorph skull. Very cool. One thing to notice, if these are actually, accurate sculpts at all, is that piece that shoots out of his mouth with the little claws on it isn't a bone. It must be like a fleshed, like your tongue just deteriorates when you die. There must be no bone in that actual piece on these xenomorphs. But this might not be accurate, but something to think about. Very cool. I do like that. Let's see what else we have here. We have a very closed, I call it the bow. I don't know if people call it spear or bow, but to me it's more of a bow. But it's a collapsed bow. Some come with the ones that are extended, when it would come with both. This one has like a light gray band in the middle, silver with a black wash. These are, the diameter on these things are pretty large. To find out, they just stretch the hand fingers out a lot if you put these in their hands, which is, it's terrible. Let's see here. He does come with 2 alternate hands, so they are open hands. They are painted to match the figure's skin, and they have the black palms with some black on the tips, like a fingernail, and here around the knuckles, it looks like rings. And I guess his main weapon is his Shaman staff. There's a good bit of paint and coloring on this thing. We have a black, looks like a black shaft. We have this handle piece here that has 2 gray. That's almost like copper. Same thing here, the grain and copper. We have some of that dirty yellow here. Maybe, kind of like bones, maybe. We have some of the yellow up here with a cross of a strap there. We have the 3 prongs. Then we have the 2 silver blades that you will commonly find on the Predator's arm for battle, like on the Scout Predator. So instead of having his on his arm gauntlet, he has it on his spear. This is quite thin. It's quite large, actually. Actually taller than the Predator. And I don't think he's going to hold that just by looking at it very snugly. Oh, maybe. No. It's close. Not bad. But that's your Shaman Predator there. Very nice. Take a look at the figure 360. Alright, well that's been my review for Hiya Toys Shaman Predator. These retail for $19.99 most of the time. And I've seen them anywhere from maybe even up to $24.99. So that's your average price range. So if you like this video, please consider subscribing. And we will see you in the next review.